Good morning. I'm going to get Laura on here. Oh, perfect. There she is. I wore my...
Hi.
Good morning, Laura.
Hi, y'all.
How are you? Oh, okay. Hang on just a sec. Had her for a sec, and then now I can't see her. There you are.
Hi. Hi. Can you see me now?
Hello.
I'm so sorry about that.
There is no apology necessary whatsoever.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
How are you today, Laura? You look great.
Oh, do I? Thank you. I'm just figuring this whole live thing out, by the way. This is my first live, so got to make sure things sound good. We're all set up. Okay.
Yes.
I'm doing really well today. I woke up, got some homework done. We have a really gloomy day here in Seattle. I haven't gotten out for a walk yet, but I will later. Just been taking it easy. What about you?
I am doing all right this morning. It is, as you know, we're a little gloomy here too. We're only 3 hours away from you. So,
Yes.
same
Yes.
weather. It's making me a little flary this morning, but that's okay because I'm so excited to speak with you this morning.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for joining. I'm sorry you're in a flare. That really sucks with the Northwest weather. That's probably common for you.
Yes. Can you introduce yourself to everybody? If anybody doesn't know, this is Laura, and this is who I shout out on our weekly lives. She is the real MVP. Behind the scenes, supporting me all day. She supports so many warriors behind the scenes. So take it away, Laura.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Laura. I had an MVD, microvascular decompression surgery in May of this year, so May 2021. And this, we're in a pandemic. Everything was just really wild. I made a pretty quick decision actually to jump into the surgery. I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. Real quick background. I'll just do it real quick. I was diagnosed in October 2020. So not too long ago.
Yeah, that's quick.
And that's like when I started this Instagram account. And I was so nervous because trigeminal neuralgia, MVD, it's not a common thing, right? It's not like one of your friends or family members have it. Probably not. It's a rare disease that we suffer with. And I'm just so grateful for people I met on here. And I had my first appointment with my neurologist in January of just this year. I got on carbamazepine. I got on baclofen and, oh my gosh, brain fog. One other, gabapentin, right? And at my first appointment, my neurologist was like, the way that you're situated with type TN1 and 2, I think I had both going on, I really recommend that you get an MVD. I've had patients come in with what you're dealing with, and I never see them again. And so I was like, that sounds great.
So that's like a super quick diagnosis, turnaround, doctor on board, let's do MVD. How are you feeling about all of this? Because that's so fast.
I was sort of a wreck after that appointment, to be honest. I was texting my close friends and calling my family saying, okay, they just presented brain surgery to me.
Yeah.
Like, not only is this diagnosis new, not only am I like feeling a bunch of stuff from all these new medications, I was scared. I was really scared. And I was like, I messaged her the next day and I said, I need to think about this.
Yeah.
My first instinct was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
I said, let's just see how the meds go,
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. You know, the carbamazepine was effective for me for like 4 months. That's the medication that really like made me feel super drowsy. I'm sure some of you can relate, like massive brain fog, couldn't drive some days. And when that stopped working and the attacks got progressively worse, I decided, let's do this. Let's do this. And she's like, you know, we can only schedule like a month out. And this is before like the Delta variant really hit. So I was luckily, like, I was able to get it. But at first it was just really hard to accept that this was it for me, you know, that was the solution.
Yeah. Had you heard about trigeminal neuralgia before, or MVD?
What was that?
Had you heard about TN or MVD before?
No. So when I got diagnosed by the oral surgeon that did my root canal, went in 5 days after, like, hey, like, I'm in a lot of pain still. And she touched my face. And I think you know the story. And then she diagnosed me on the spot. And I was like, I had to Google it. And so after I Googled what trigeminal neuralgia was, I flipped my shit, because I was just like, oh, okay, this is like a chronic thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was. I opened up to my best friend, one of my best friends, Ian, and I said, this is what's going on with my health. He's like, no way. I have another friend named Laura who has trigeminal neuralgia.
Oh my God, what?
And she lives in Seattle. And I was like, what?
What?
I'm like, give me her number right now. Give me her number. Like, we're going to text, we're going to talk. And she didn't know anyone else either in Seattle or in real life with the same condition. So we connected right away. And so it gave me more of like an understanding and a connection, and, you know, someone I could reach out to at any time, and she'd know what I was going through, you know?
That's crazy that you found support so quickly, and somebody who was in town. Were you guys able to meet quickly, or?
Oh yeah. I was like, let's meet up next week. You want to go for a walk? Like let's hang out, because as we all know, as probably everyone who's in this chat here, you know, TN attacks, they're so isolating. And I just literally felt like I was in a dark tunnel for days sometimes. And I was quite depressed, and it's not really something you could explain to friends and family. I tried. I really, really tried, right? I could give them like a medical explanation of what was going on. But until you like actually feel what this disease is, you don't really understand. So, but yeah, I was able to meet with Laura. I don't know if Laura's here right now. I love her. She's Laurella Marie on Instagram. And also, she has been struggling with TN for 4 years. I'm just going to talk. I think she's in our community. I think she's fine with me talking about it. Her neurologist told her for 4 years, you cannot have an MVD. We don't see a compression. We don't see anything on the MRI, which I understand everyone's situated differently. It's very tough. She was just told a few months ago, you're a candidate. You're a candidate for an MVD. She got a second opinion, and she's getting her MVD in a month. Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
Yeah. I'm like so happy for her. I'm so happy for her. I can't wait to like support her throughout her recovery and be there for her.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, she's been suffering. So this, I think, could be a game changer for her.
So let's go back.
Yeah.
About how, because I think this experience seems so enlightening, because you have such a great spirit and you have such a good heart, that I want you to kind of dive in about those dark days, about your MVD, and tell us about how MVD changed your life.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go into those dark days first. Dark days in recovery, or kind of leading up to?
Both.
Okay. So in April of this year, I was an absolute mess. Emotionally, physically. It's like the TN knew it was about to be dismantled, and it just got increasingly worse. And of course, stress, you know, can really affect us in our attacks. Doesn't cause it, but it can really it's a factor, right?
Yeah.
In April, I took a break from school. I I was very nervous about the procedure. I want to make that clear. It was an easy decision because I'm like, I want a life worth living. But it was also like the days leading up, I was in like constant panic, like, oh my gosh, this is brain surgery. Like, what is it going to be like? And, you know, I met Mackenzie on here, Mac Daddy, the lady face. I know you're here. Hi. And she really helped me through post-recovery, work through some feelings, like made me feel normal, you know, that what I'm experiencing, like she's validated me. She helped me like, you know, with what to prepare with like baggy shirts, button-up shirts, like food in the freezer. So I was able, you know, I was focusing on the things that I could control leading up, right? I was focusing on like preparation, like you're going camping. You want all your supplies ready. You want the food in the freezer, all your pajamas. I distracted myself with like deep cleaning my house, because that's something you can't do for a while after surgery, right? So I was focusing on the things that I could control. And I'd say in my recovery, like the really dark, heavy days were like on week 2 and week 3, where I was like having a little trouble speaking, like stringing my words together. It's called aphasia. Yeah. And just felt confused, like waking up from a nap and my head would be hurting. And I mean, who really knows what's going on in there? Like after brain surgery, like so much is affected that I was depressed some days and decided to reach out to a therapist for help. Once I was like more situated, like a couple months in, reach out to a therapist for help. And then of course it was super dark leading up to the surgery. Like, what if this doesn't work for me? Like, what if they're wrong? You know, the what ifs. But I had to like challenge those things, you know, work on what I could control, challenge those thoughts and be like, so what? You're taking a chance. There are risks. There are risks to everything. Like, we're not going to know until we do it, like if this works. And so, yeah. And you asked a second thing. Can you remind me?
Well, I'm going to have you go back and talk about kind of your MVD, you know, how it went,
Yeah.
how the whole process was. And I want to thank you for really sharing about those dark days, because I know how hard it is. And it's hard to go back to those places and talk about them and experience them. But I know, and I know that you know, that there are so many people in that place right now. And I think it's important for them to know that they're not alone, and it's normal. It's not something that is out of the realm of this thing. It's a side effect of TN.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay. Yeah. Perfectly stated, and I believe it's Mental Health Day as well, Mental Health Awareness Day. So you're pointing out, you're asking really amazing questions. So thank you. Yeah, if anyone out there is feeling alone right now, just know that there's people who understand, may not understand everything, but we are here.
Yeah.
We are here.
But go
going
for it.
back. So what was that?
Oh, I was just saying, reach out to either one of us if you need. We're both here.
Yes. And oh yeah, and I want to preface and say, like, this is my experience. If you have surgery, this is probably not what it's going to look like. Like, everybody's experience is different, and please use me as a resource if you have questions, if you want to connect, and I will write back when I can. I would love that. I would love to be of service to anyone who would like more information on what I've been through. So let's rewind to the day of my MVD.
Yeah.
I barely slept the night before. I went in, I was excited and I was nervous. And because of COVID, you know, my fiance, Eric, couldn't come back with me. So there was just this clear moment of him walking me up to a front desk and then me just going off alone. And it was just like, it set in then. It hadn't set in until then, honestly. Oh. But the nurses made me feel like really warm and welcome. And you just really have to like ask for what you need at the hospital. I think we all are kind of aware, like, we really need to be our own advocates and just be honest with doctors and nurses how you're feeling. Ask for extra medication if you need to calm your nerves. But honestly, like, I was in there and then I woke up. It was really like, my surgeon came to talk to me beforehand, which was very nice, very helpful. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was just going to see him in the OR, you know?
Yeah.
He, by memory, introduced everyone that was going to be in the surgery room, which was awesome. You know what I mean? That's a really good sign, I think. So, and they rolled me back, put me under. I woke up and had a lot of nausea. I'm not gonna lie. That's very common though. It's very, very common. Things were really blurry. I woke up and then they put you in a CT scan right away just to make sure things look good. And I was then placed in the Swedish ICU, and I stayed there for 2 nights. And because they didn't have any room in like the normal hospital upstairs, so I stayed in the ICU for 2 nights, which was wonderful. I mean, I think you get more around the clock attention there.
Yeah.
I got pain medication whenever I wanted. And I was really shocked when one of the nurses was like, I think it was like after my first night staying there, like I kind of slept. She was like, okay, it's time to stand up, like sit in your chair, eat your breakfast. And I was just, your head, if you go through this, will feel quite heavy and a lot of pounding. Sort of interesting to think back about this day, by the way. And so I ordered some breakfast, some oatmeal, and sat up and, you know, and I know that some individuals might stay 3 nights or 4 nights. I stayed 2 nights. I was just trying to like really fake it, like I had my stuff together so I could get out of there and go home.
Yeah.
And I worked with a physical therapist on my second day there so he could make sure I could walk. And he gave me tips on like how to focus my eyes when I'm walking, just so I could walk in a straight line. Let's see, a social worker came in to check on me, which was awesome. I didn't need resources at the time, but it was so cool just to see a team of people like come in and check in. Occupational therapists helped me brush my teeth, you know, really encouraged me, like, you're doing really good. So overall, like, that was a good experience, I'd say. Like, the care there was great. And my fiance, Eric, shout out, he's in the chat. The best caretaker.
Hi, Eric.
He surprised me on the second day in the hospital, but honestly, I was so out of it. I was just like, why are you here? I was like, don't look at me right now. Just don't. We're not. This ain't it. And I was just so out of it, just like spacing out, like sort of embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
And he took me, you know, when he picked me up to drive me home, it was the best moment of my life getting out of the hospital. Let me tell you, when you are discharged, it is just the best feeling.
Oh,
and I do want to say, on my first day in the hospital, within hours of being out of surgery, the surgery was probably 3 or 4 hours, they decompressed the nerve, and they also found another thing that was blocking that was actually pressing on the vessel. They took care of that too. Yeah, they didn't see it on the MRI, but he's like, yeah, there was another thing. We just, you know, took care of it. And I do want to mention that after they put me in the ICU, like 2 or 3 hours after that, he came in, my surgeon came in with a big smile saying everything was very successful. And he took a pen and like went around my face, on the right side of my face, like that, to test. No pain. Couldn't feel it. And I wasn't numb. It's just like there was no face pain. Hours after surgery. It was amazing. So that felt like a victory. I'm like, okay, it's like that for now, but we'll see, right? Yeah. We'll see. I don't trust you yet, but
it's funny.
Yeah.
Those thoughts immediately. Like, you were excited about being pain-free, but you still had that anxiety about it's not over and maybe it's.
Yeah. I was like, this is only the beginning. We'll see. I was very hesitant because I went into surgery in total agony, right?
Yeah.
So stressed out. And to see everyone really excited, see the medical team really excited, I was like, okay, like.
That's a big victory.
Huge victory. And that was only the first one. There were lots more, you know, small victories throughout recoveries. It was definitely like up and down.
Yeah.
My recovery was up and down, like anyone's would be, you know?
Yeah. So Eric added in here that they found a bit of desiccated connective tissue, I think, and snipped it out with scissors. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks for that, Boo. Yeah, that's what it was. I was trying to describe that. They called him on the phone and told him that. And he was just like, okay, like, what'd y'all do?
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. And
yeah, so no wonder I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
Something else was pressing against a vessel, which was on the nerve. And yeah.
That's crazy. So Lucille is asking, how long was your recovery? So do you want to go into talking about your recovery?
Absolutely. I would love to. So doctors, like on your discharge papers or at your post-op appointments, my doctor said, okay, expect to be down like a couch potato for 2 weeks, right? And then after 4 to 6 weeks, increase activity, and then you can like lift 5 pounds after like 6 to 8 weeks. And I stress, do not lift anything unless you have to. Like, do not lift 5 to 10 pounds for like 6 to 8 weeks at least. I don't really know how to answer that question because I think I'm still in recovery. I'm approaching 5 months. It's really wild. And I'm still having to pace myself.
I think that's so important that you just said that. You're still in recovery.
Yes.
5 months later, you're still in recovery. And that's okay. You just went through major brain surgery.
Yes. That's true. I kept having to remind myself that, it wasn't a dental procedure. Like, they went in. So, adjusting my expectations is something I've really like talked about, how that's quite important. I'd say, yes, I'm still recovering, but there were weeks where I was able to start incorporating in new things back into my life. So, I really wanted to mow my lawn and vacuum, right? But I couldn't. I swear, this is relevant. I really wanted to like push the vacuum. I saw Eric, my caretaker, like taking care of everything. I was feeling so guilty. And so I wanted to do it. I think I waited till like 8 or 10 weeks post-op. And I really thought after mowing my lawn that my life was back to normal, that I was completely recovered, that everything was fine, but I was like quite tired afterwards. My head was pounding and I just had to rest. And that's when the reality kicked in that this might take a year. This might take a year and a half. Like yesterday, I walked a mile in Costco, came home and did some work, and then was so tired the rest of the day. Like, so tired. And I don't think I have all the answers. I think like taking it easy, like I rested hard for 6 weeks and then I was able to like walk a little more. If that answers your question a little bit. Yeah. It's hard to like pinpoint.
Can we add that you're currently back in school? Mm-hmm. And can you tell us what you're going to school for? How that is part of your recovery? I'm absolutely just in awe of Laura. I just finished my associate's degree and I did not have brain surgery and I'm never doing it again. So I don't know how you're doing it.
That's so sweet. Oh, I don't know how you've gone through so much school with TN. You're so strong. Like, that takes so much, even just to get through the days, just not doing anything. It's a lot. I'm currently in school working towards my bachelor's in psychology, and I truly want to help others in a career. And I would love to work for advocating for people with disabilities, because I've had advisors in my life help me through my own disability. And I go to University of Washington, and I graduate next June.
Wow. Oh my God, that is so freaking amazing.
Let's have a party, okay?
You are really proud of yourself, because I am so freaking proud of you.
Thank you so much. That feels so great to hear. I don't know how I went through 2 school quarters at university with TN and all the medications. Like, it's quite a blur, honestly, how I did that. But thank you for the encouragement. you know, fingers crossed it doesn't come back. You know, there's always that. But I'm so excited to be back in school. It is my everything. I put all my energy into it. And I didn't know if I was going to be ready to go back in the fall, honestly. I really didn't know. I was like, okay, I'm getting this done in May. I don't know how long the recovery is going to be. You know, I told my therapist, like, I don't know if I'm going to be like cognitively like the same. I don't know if I don't feel the same. I feel different. And she looked at me and she was like, Laura, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not worried about it. Like, you can do this. So just getting that outside validation and, you know, practicing reading again, right? Like a month before school, I knew I was going to have to like read and write a lot in my senior year. And in recovery, I was just like relaxing, you know, making sure I was healing right. And it was quite frustrating at times when I was like, I'd read 4 pages in a book and like, that's all I could do. So I'd panic, you know. But it's kind of like, okay, I've been in school before. I just threw myself back into it and I'm doing it again. It's not easy. It's really hard, but.
And how many credits are you taking, Laura?
15.
Oh my God, you're just insane. Brain surgery, almost 5 months post-op. You are killing the game. You're advocating. You're supporting people by means. I know you've supported me all day. I'm just so freaking proud of you.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm proud of you too.
Thank
Like,
you, Laura.
can we give it up for Jessica, like running awareness week over here, the marathon? Can't we? Jessica, yes. I'm so glad we connected. I am just so excited about what you're doing. I'm just going to put the focus on you for a minute. And, you know, what this month has like meant to you. I'm, like you mentioned, I'm so glad we met. And I think the 5K is a gold idea. We've all been so excited. I think I can speak for all of us. We're so motivated and you really keep us going.
Thanks, Laura. That's so sweet. And it just inspires me to keep going. Like you said, I'm in pain every day, but speaking to people like you every day keeps me going and keeps this fight going that I'm gonna find us a cure. We're gonna beat this thing.
Hands down, hands down. I believe every word. I believe every word. I believe we will see a cure in our lifetime. And just know, like, you are taking the steps to get us there. We are all doing this together. We are all in this together. And I'm so proud of you for diving in and just, yeah.
Oh,
I get chills. I get chills.
thank you, Laura. You're so sweet. I'm gonna turn it back to you though, because this is your hour and you're so let's talk about, is there anything you want to go back and talk about your MVD that you touched on or your recovery? I have tons of questions to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to know. Recovery is not easy, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this and be like, just because I'm in remission now, everything was perfect. No. There were days I was probably a very difficult patient to my fiance. Okay, if you guys want to know like some details about like how I dealt with hygiene, like getting dressed and stuff like that. Like you can't bend down, right? You can't bend over for, I mean, I still have trouble bending over. I need to like squat to grab things or else you can get that head rush. And many of you with TN know that that can also trigger an attack, even without an MVD, like just moving too fast, right? So I'd say for about 4 weeks, Eric had to help me like put pants on, my socks on, and I just didn't expect that. You know, as far as like the first 3 weeks, when I took showers, he'd like fill a cup of water, like warm water, and like run it behind my ear just to keep things clean. You really, you know, to get more, you know, specific, like you really want to avoid an infection. Like that would probably be like the worst way to get an infection post-op. Okay. And that's one of the risks. I had someone ask me about what the risks of the surgery are. Okay. So infection it's not common, but it's kind of up there, right? So it's up to you to really keep your pillowcases clean every day, your sheets changed every day, your towels always clean after every shower. I cannot stress that enough. You cannot have animals around your neck, around the suture. So that was an interesting part of recovery. There's just all these surprises that come up no matter how prepared you are. And let's see, what else can I talk about? It's really important to like, the doctor said, you know, get up and move every day. I was so nauseous for the first few weeks and had a bout of vertigo, which like landed me on the floor.
Hmm.
Um, haven't told a lot of people that, but yeah, like the ceiling was the floor and like the floor, it was just, I was fine. I
Oh,
was totally fine. I actually had a patch for nausea. It's really funny looking back on it now. Actually, I had a patch behind my ear for nausea, a really strong medicine. I forget the name. I didn't know. I kept changing it every 3 days. I didn't know that I only needed it for a week or two. I had it on for almost 4 weeks. And I think that was making me a little more nauseous. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, this is my experience. This isn't anybody else's. This isn't what everybody goes through.
exactly.
But all the other like 7 medications they prescribed you after I was taking, and I think it's really important to like have a caregiver to remind you to take meds or set an alarm for yourself, right? And let's say you don't have a caregiver at home. Say your partner doesn't work from home and can't be with you. I think it's really important those first 3 to 4 weeks, have a friend come in and check on you every day. Make sure you have food ready, because I know we're all like differently situated. Some of us have kids, right? Some of us might have a toddler when we get surgery. Like I don't. So how plan ahead with like, how is the baby going to be picked up? Like, how are we, can I have, family to come see me? And just, it's a lot of preparation. It
Yeah.
really is a lot of preparation. But back to the walking, like I said, it's important to like walk and get moving in surgery. And like, I was able to walk like a block and a half, maybe max, like for like 6 weeks, it felt like I couldn't do any more. And because my head would start pounding and I'd feel like I was walking against wind. And it's frustrating, but you have to listen to your body. You have to. Even if it's like, I cannot stress that enough. Like, your body will tell you what you need. Your body will tell you what you need. If you need to go back to bed, you have to go back to bed.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of patience, if you want to say that, with my body. So I learned through like physical battles and like learning to function, physically again, or not being where I used to be, like gaining weight because I was laying down a lot. It's just a lot of things I was forced to sit with and accept, because I spent a lot of time alone, COVID, in my bed, everything. I didn't have COVID. It's just during COVID time. I just want to make that clear. That would suck. That would have sucked. But and I had time to sit with things to put in perspective as well. So
Yeah.
I was having like moments of like light bulbs of like, at the 4-6 week mark, 8 weeks, I was starting to like make myself snacks and meals at 4 weeks post-op. That was amazing. And like every week I was like, oh, I can do this again. And like 2 weeks later, oh, I can walk a little more. And then I started to realize like, these small things that I can now do again, that I was frustrated that I couldn't do, like, means so much to me.
Yeah.
It means so much. Like, I could walk a block further, look at this beautiful meal I made. It's just like, I was just so blown away with my ability all of a sudden. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And then, of course, like, being pain-free. Now, I do want to say, I think this might be answering someone's question as well. I believe your name's Lucille.
Lucille also
Yeah.
popped a question in here asking, what do you wish you knew before your
Yes.
circle that in too?
Yes. I know she asked me, how's my TN post MVD? I'll touch on that, and I'll talk about what I wish I knew. What did I wish I knew before MVD? Just like I said, to like really adjust my expectations. This is not a 4 to 6 week recovery like that's in my fine print, in my notes that I have right here to the left of me, saying to just take it easy and you'll be good to go back to work. That wasn't the case for me. I don't know about everybody else, but I couldn't have gone back to work at 6 weeks. You're going to feel very slow, very fatigued. I wish I knew that. Luckily, I connected with other warriors on here. Like I said, Mackenzie, who has had MVDs before, I was able to message her anytime I wanted, which thank you. And so if anything came up, like I was feeling itchy back here, or I was just emotionally all over the place. You know, she was really able to like put things in perspective with me. Other things I wish I knew before an MVD. Oh, I know it can be hard, but like going into it with a positive mindset, like this will work for me, so helpful. So helpful, okay? We got to like have hope and trust our surgeon, trust our doctors. We need to like trust the process. And that's something I was like kind of reminding myself before, but after, I think the mindset can go a long way.
Yeah, I think that's a really good piece that even if not, I have not had MVD, I'm not considering it at this point, but I love that mindset too, just staying positive.
Yeah, we got to stay real, but we got to stay positive too. You
Yeah.
know, it's let's see, what else do I wish I knew? That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Um, just the preparing is good. Uh, Making sure you're connected with your social support and just your environment, right? Making sure you have all your pillowcases and your sheets and your pajamas. Pick out a bunch of like Netflix shows ahead of time that will keep you occupied. Um, Also know there's gonna be some rough days, okay? But you're gonna come out of it stronger. Okay. That's what I wish I knew. Honestly, that like I was in rough moments all over again, really dark, like 2 to 3 weeks post-op. Just please know it gets better. It really does, week by week. And connect with us here on Instagram. Don't be shy. Like, reach out if you have questions. And then Lucy also asked, how's my TN post MVD? And I will say in that at 5 weeks post-op, I posted about it on my Instagram. If you guys want to go back and see it, I had a scare, okay? I had a 3-hour attack.
Wow.
I'm just like, I can't, like at 5 weeks, you guys.
Yeah.
After everything was great, right?
Wow.
And it came on, and I couldn't even cry because I felt gaslighted. I felt betrayed. I felt TN can do that to us, right?
Yeah.
We feel good 1 second and then we're in hell. So I freaked out naturally, totally valid, right? And I called my neurosurgeon. We met the following week. It felt just like before surgery. So I thought it failed. I thought maybe the Teflon moved around. And he asked me, did any of your triggers lead up to this? Like, because he knows my triggers. And I said, no, out of the blue for hours. And he said, okay, well, it's nothing to worry about. So I trusted him. I was like, okay, like, I guess it's bone growing back or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's normal. Yeah. It was just so classic. It was that TN1. It was just, okay. So if that happens to you, like, it's just things growing back. It's going to be okay. It's not back. Okay. So I wish someone would have told me that before.
Oh.
I like, okay, so there's things that doctors, like, information from doctors and nurses, you won't, there's information you can't get from them because maybe they haven't gone through it. And like, that's fine. They know all the clinical stuff. Of course, go to them for all your questions. But until you go through it, you know, so, oh, also get the nurse's number line, like your surgeon's nurse number ahead of time so that you can call anytime, any day for questions. So if something comes up, I did not have any complications. Luckily, I did not get an infection or have a stroke, or, you know, that's very rare. Those risks are very rare. But yeah, and I'd say TN post MVD, I'd say in the past 4 weeks, I've had one shock to my face like per week. I'll take it, right?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Like, because I'm off carbamazepine now. I'm off 3 medications that they put me on. Those medications really help you in the beginning, right? They really help you in your recovery. Like if you're on gabapentin or Tegretol, those help with the healing process. Like, I was very grateful for them then. It wasn't for like 8 weeks did they stop tapering me off of them.
So let's talk about your quality of life now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, even though you may be experiencing one shock a week, how are you handling that? How are you doing with your quality of life and sort of all of that post MVD stuff?
Great question. Very good question. So how I'm coping with, I suppose I have a healthy amount of anxiety of like, is this pain going to come back? Okay. So they told me, you know, this would be an effective procedure for my pain for 5 to 10 years. That's amazing, right? I can do a bunch of stuff in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So if I get like a pain, like a shock, I'm instantly like flashback to the before life, right? When, you know, but I just like write it out. I'm like, okay, let me check the facts here. It was just for a second. This won't happen again. I'm good. So I've been seeing a therapist for anxiety. That's really good. And then my quality of life is just great now. I have never felt better. I know, I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm probably annoying my partner all the time because I'm like, oh, and I know Mackenzie can relate to this. We had a conversation where like little things are amazing. Like this burrito is the best burrito I have ever had. And like this tree is amazing. And like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing things in a new light, you guys. I'm seeing things in a new light that I didn't before, because before I was in so much agony. I didn't even know how bad life was. You know, I don't think I knew. And so I think this procedure was very necessary. It was either I got it this year or it's like 2 years. So it's definitely, you know, a big decision. But my quality of life, that's my experience, is so much better. I feel like I'm getting my endurance back a little bit. Like I'm able to like walk up hills a little more at a time. I feel like I am a better partner because when I was like in total agony, it's just hard to like interact. I feel like I'm doing good.
I'm so proud of you. Eric added in that no, it's adorable
Oh.
and apps. So kudos to you. I love you're just sharing that you're not taking anything for granted and
That
little thing. Like
that part.
life is beautiful. Kenzie said it.
Yes, life is beautiful. Yes, thank you for paraphrasing. That's what I meant. Like, not taking anything for granted, y'all. Not one day. I did not have this mindset before surgery. So it is wild. I'm just taking it day at a time.
How is it brushing your teeth?
Ooh, yeah. I just like vigorously go in now.
Oh my God.
Like, oh yeah. I was, you know, not a day goes by where I don't think about, is this gonna hurt? You know, so that still exists. It's still fresh. Like we said, I'm 4 to 5 months right now post-op. Okay, so brushing my teeth is amazing. I can floss now. That's really good. And you know what? I had 2 years of dental work, straight dental work leading up to my TN diagnosis. Yeah, I know that's pretty common, right? So dentists will never tell you that TN is from them. They didn't cause it. No. So yeah, I can put on makeup now.
Oh my God.
I have a couple tips for y'all if you're in a TN flare, but you want to put stuff on your face. Yeah. So what I was doing before is I got, instead of using moisturizer, right, rubbing it in, I got face spray. Okay. Face spray, like a moisturizing, like, or rose toner, anything. You could put anything in a spray bottle. And then that way I was like, okay, I don't have to touch my face. So I learned to kind of cope with those things. You know, they have spray foundation. I didn't really bother with that. But I found some very soft makeup brushes, if anybody wants to know, that didn't trigger me.
Oh my God.
And as I was getting ready for this live today to meet with you, I was putting on makeup and like pouncing the sponge, just like smiling and totally thinking about when I couldn't, you know. So it's the smallest things I'm so grateful for. Like I'll just come out and talk to Eric like, I washed my face. Oh my gosh. It's so annoying. Okay.
You are
I,
share all of those makeup tips and the brushes and everything, the sprays. I need all of that because putting on makeup before this was excruciating.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you can buy a spray foundation, and I have this really fuzzy brush. It's very sparse, and so you can barely feel it. But I would just avoid this part completely. And there's just some stuff you have to go without. I could still put on lipstick. I would use like hot compresses. Oh, and let's see, like my hair, I didn't do much with it and my TN flares, like, and that's okay. Like, we don't have to, do anything with our hair. We do what we got to do. I will say before surgery, like my hair hurt, my
Yeah,
scalp hurt, and I convinced myself that it was like because my hair is thick, like because my hair sucks, like that. I didn't know it was the TN until after surgery. I literally thought I had a bad scalp.
that's funny that you say that because I can totally relate to that. Like wearing a ponytail or my hair and my head just hurts.
I know,
And
girl.
kind of puts you in that denial where it's my scalp or it's my teeth or it's this or it's that. But no, it's just the TN.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Alma is asking, did you cut your hair before surgery?
I sure did. I sure did. We months leading up. Actually, I've always had this undercut because I have so much hair. Even before TN, so for years, I've had like half of it shaved underneath, so it's like more manageable. I have extremely thick hair. But the hairdresser I go to here in Seattle, I told her about the surgery. She's like, okay. So like 2 weeks leading up to the surgery, she's like, okay, let's I'll shave it in a way so that when they shave your head, it'll look like a fade.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did get my hair cut before surgery. And just a note, don't blow dry your hair after surgery if you get it for like a couple months or like 6 weeks, or I don't know, or dye your hair. Really, you don't want that going on. Speaking of hair, we're on hair care topic here. So I dyed my hair like 8 weeks post-op because I was bored, and even that kind of like stung a little bit. But luckily, I found a hairdresser who like after my procedure, like I saw her 2 or 3 months after for my haircuts because this was all growing back, right?
Yeah.
She was very aware and like looked up the condition and was very careful to work, with me and excuse me.
That she did that, put in that effort.
Right? Can we just like, I love it when like people will like hear you about what you struggle with and like look it up, like, seeing that effort from friends and family, like that support, it's just so supportive, right?
It speaks volumes. And I think that's a great point to bring up for caregivers and supporting people that are watching this later.
Yes.
Michael,
And that's something that means so much to us.
yes.
Like my close friends have, looked it up. They've listened to me when I've, told them about my experience. And I think just having someone to listen is so important. And we love you for it. We do.
Yes. Lucille said to be seen the best.
Oh, right.
She also asked, how is your scar?
Scar is doing great, I think. I can't see it. um, it's still a little tender to the touch, right? It's pretty small. It's just right around my ear. I'd say, I don't know if Eric's still here, but we took pictures of it like every few days post-op just to make sure. My incisions were like degradable, so I didn't have any staples or anything. They just kind of gross, right? Fell apart on their own. And I will say it sucks. Like you got to sleep on one side for months. And I know many of you probably already do that, right? So some people with TN, they already are used to sleeping on one side. But my scar, I think it's doing awesome. I have hair covering it, but it's great, It doesn't pull or anything anymore like it used to in the beginning. So just know, Lucille, like that will go away. You might feel some tugging on it, until for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, but It gets better. And you know whose scar looks so good after MVD is Dolce
Yes, Teresa.
Gabbana. Yes, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're
Yes.
here. I love you. You are looking great. You are doing an amazing job. I don't know if she's here, but I saw a picture of hers recently, and she's only like at a couple months. She looks great. It looks
great. Yeah. She's here. And Eric added that he got some real gross pictures from early on. It's good now, though.
Yeah, we're good.
I talked about how it hurts to wear a ball cap or a stocking cap in the winter for him, and it hurts for me too. So I'm curious, for you now, post MVD, are you able to wear a hat yet or no?
I'm wearing beanies.
Oh,
very
wow.
soft ones, right? I can't speak for like a ball cap. Might be a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, your body will tell you what is too much and what isn't. Okay, I can wear beanies now, which is like amazing. I love beanies, and I'm here in the Northwest. I will say, however, I think I posted a photo of my stories the other day on one of my walks. I'm like, first time wearing my wireless headphones in like 5 months. Yeah, after that was really hard. It was really hard. I think it compressed my ears too much. So the headphones, just wait that out. Use some earbuds. Don't do what I did. So that still hurt.
I think that's great to point out that you get so excited about these little things, but then it's like, okay, don't get disappointed. We'll try that again in another month. We'll adjust to the earbuds. Adjusting your expectations, I think, is a great point that you brought up from the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Adjusting your expectations. And it's not easy, okay? It's not always easy to be like, I can't do this. Like, I can't cook a meal tonight. I feel like I'm failing, right? No, we got to flip that around. We got to adjust our expectations and remember what we've gone through to get into a good spot, to have our pain-free days, or just in general, even if you haven't had an MVD, to really like put things into perspective, how hard you're fighting every day with pain. And if you can't cook tonight, that's okay, you know?
Exactly.
You know, Eric can probably chime in about this. He doesn't have to, but like in 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, why am I not like running a mile? Like, why am I laying down? I was getting very anxious, like, or I look at other people's journeys, right? And Lucille, this is very important. I was reading about other people's journeys. I joined Facebook groups. Okay, that didn't work out for me because there's a lot of people in some facial pain groups on Facebook. Super amazing. Love to see it. But it was a little like overwhelming because some people are like, oh, that's not really where you should be. Or this was my experience. And I'm over 60 and I was mowing a lawn at 6 weeks. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I kind of flipped out and like called my doctor. I'm like, I don't think I'm where I should be, or like writing to other people. No, it's okay. It's okay. You will get there and your body is taking its time. And we all have different cases of TN. We all have different biology. So we're all going to heal at our own pace.
That is so important to bring up, that even though we have the same diagnosis, we have very different experiences. So just because something works for Laura, it works for me, doesn't mean that it's work for you.
Exactly.
We have 6 minutes left.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you want to answer a couple more questions here you had at the end, or do you want to add anything before we go? Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your time with us today.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. I've been so excited. Like I said, anyone can reach out to me at any time if you need to chat. I think I have a couple questions here. My friend Laura's having an MVD in a month.
Yes.
Did you ever see yourself with the metal halo on? I did not. I think she means the device. I mean, you go in and you're out. Okay. And, you know, on that note, I just want to say, like, over time, your brain, like my brain, like I'm starting to forget things about my recovery. That's a good thing. Okay. Your brain will protect you from memories. Okay. So if you start, you know, forgetting things that happened or some really hard times, like that's okay. And I think that's really healthy. And then I think I answered the other ones. How long is the healing process? It's different for everyone. Still going through it. Maybe we can do like another update a few months from now or something.
I would love that, to see how your recovery is going, how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Hopefully that the pain has stayed away from you, how your school journey is going. It would be incredible to touch base with you in a couple months. See
Yeah.
how,
Couple months. Yeah, couple months or next year. If you guys want to follow up, give us a thumbs up, send some hearts. I would love to do that. Like I said, I'm here for you guys to serve you. Whatever you want to know. If we didn't cover something today, send me a message.
yes, Cynthia is all about that. Lucille is all about it. Kenzie added that everyone's journey is super unique. Even her MVD were totally different from one another, and she's had two. Um,
Yeah,
Mike said that MVD is his greatest fear along with heart surgery, and that's okay. MVD is my greatest fear too, and I'm not ready for it now, and that's okay.
that's okay. There are other ways to get through this. Absolutely. It's totally terrifying. Yep.
Yep. Experience is different, and you have to listen to your body, like Laura said. Do what's best for you.
Yes, absolutely. You have to do what's best for you.
So what are you going to do the rest of the day, Laura?
I got some homework lined up, but I really love what I'm studying. So I don't mind spending time using my brain again and just focusing. I'm trying to work on focusing. And then I'm probably going to cook dinner tonight with Eric. We've been doing a lot of comfort foods because it's like a high of 55 these days, which, brr. Yeah, that's about it. Just going to get back to work and hang out.
I love it. Sounds like you have a super productive day. I'm sure Millie will sit in there for a couple cuddles.
Yeah. Yeah, she's right over here. She's sleeping.
I love it. Well, thank you again, Laura, so much for sharing your energy today. I'm so excited we got to connect through this whole journey. Thank you individually for supporting me every single day and just getting through this journey, reminding me that I can keep going, because I have dark days too. I know it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it, but we all do. So
You're doing amazing, and I don't think you know how amazing you're doing. So let's all lift each other up, and we're gonna get through this.
yes, we're all in this together. You're not alone. Reach out to us. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Bye, guys.